Why, hello there. We made it to another Monday. That is right. We made it to another Monday. And I had an interesting day at work. And for those that don't know, I don't really talk about my work. And I will never tell people, especially on this type of format, where I work, what company I work for, and what customer my company has. But we'll talk about the products that we may or may not have at this particular site. And that's one of them is a Crucial MX500 M2 SSD didn't work. Now, before I even get into my little gripe, my little rant, I'm also using an Intel Nook Mini PC. When I first started using them, I was kind of impressed, but as I got to know the Intel Nook Mini PCs, I've kind of grown to not like them. Now, I don't know if that's because how the particular client is using them, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just say I had three of these mini Nooks that I had to install Ubuntu on. Two out of the three Nook Ubuntus had this hard drive, this particular hard drive right here, which was a MX500 500 gig M2 SATA SSD. Now, I would install Ubuntu, get almost everything perfect, and then the hard drive would crash. It would be read write only. A reboot wouldn't fix this. Now, it could be that within the Nook combination with this crucial hard drive, it just will not work. Or it could be that Ubuntu 2004 to be specific didn't have the drivers embedded into the kernel to make it work. Funny enough, I installed one with the wrong OS. Wasn't the wrong OS per se, it's just tasks change. And they wanted Susie 15 or Celeste 15. And I installed it, it was working, and they wanted Ubuntu, so I installed it with Ubuntu. And since I have dealt with two of these drives, actually three of these drives, running into the same issue where I would be able to install the OS just fine, it would do everything would work. I may have an hour or less before the actual hard drive stops reading and writing, so I don't know if this particular drive is garbage or just won't work with the Intel Nook Minis. So I'll be working, get them all configured, do all the post build, get ready to be on the network, hand them off to the customer, and then things will stop working with the hard drive. It'll be read write only, reboot, and get to the recovery console, which is not really the OS, is like BusyBox. I don't really have that pulled up because I'm not at work, so I can't really show you. But either way, I am not impressed with the Crucial. Now, I do like their memory, don't get me wrong. Crucial memory that actually goes into the DIMMs are pretty awesome. It's just this particular drive was not meeting the needs. So I replaced two of the hard drives, one with an Intel SSD. Actually, both of them with Intel SSDs, and they work like a champ. Now, the one that I did not replace the hard drive actually had a Samsung M2 SATA. The other two were just regular SATAs, like this one right here, which worked pretty fine. Now, I will tell you, I am impressed with the Intel SSDs. Now, people may have different opinions towards them based off of their experiences, which are pretty valid, but the amount of SSD I've messed with Intel, and I've messed with quite a few of them. Don't get me wrong, probably thousands of them, give or take a couple hundred. So they were actually a reliable hard drive, and I actually have the Intel SSDs on my computer right now, and it's been working flawlessly. Now I did get a generation on one of my other computers that had a firmware issue where it would just blank out, and I was able to repair them without any issues. But For an SSD, it's not that bad. I find that Intel SSD and Samsung SSDs, both in M2 and SATA, are one of the better hard drives I've messed around with when it comes to SSD. With that being said, have any of you had any experiences with Crucial hard drives not working after install? Now, I do have a feeling that it could be driver related because I was talking to one of the customers and says it could be a firmware issue on this drive and Ubuntu not having the firmware. Now, when it comes to Linux, firmware is like the driver, which is baked into the kernel, so it could be an issue there. Now, I'm pretty sure if I was running Windows on it, it would probably be working better. But since I was running Linux, it was just not working properly. So, my question is, has any of you ran into that same issue running a Linux distro with the drive not working from Crucial? I'll be interested to know. With that being said, smash the like and subscribe button on any and all platforms if you learned something, or just the platform that you're currently watching on. With that being said, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.